Well, they say you need to play your best ball in December when it comes to the league. Well, guess what? A lot of these guys, such as Rodgers, Brady, Taylor, and Mahomes, they've been rolling since the season began. It's the reason why they're in the conversation for MVP, and once it's all said and done, somebody's going to come away with it. Taking a look at the odds and how this might shake out down the road, Aaron Rodgers is clearly the favorite there at plus 150. We knew what happened all this offseason, the talk about wanting to leave and wanted to come back and play ball. But look, the Packers, number one in the NFC, Tom Brady, not too far behind at plus 180. It's funny to see the two old guys at the top. Taylor kind of represented for the young folks there, plus 800. And Mahomes looking to make it two there at plus 1,000. And Stafford, he's in the conversation, at least for the top five we're talking about. All right, joining me now, 1/3 of the Pick Six podcast, John Breech. And Breech, when you think about it, a lot of these guys, you can look at their numbers and say, okay, I understand why you're in the conversation. But let's make a case here for each one, starting with Rodgers, all the back and forth with the Packers in the offseason, even up to this point. Fast forward to now, they're number one in the NFC. You see the numbers. Could this be back-to-back for them?
It's starting to look like it very well could be back-to-back. When you look at Aaron Rodgers, the bottom line with the MVP throughout the last probably 15, 20 years is that if you're the best quarterback on the best team, you are going to get some serious MVP consideration, and that is what Aaron Rodgers is right now. The Green Bay Packers, the NFL's only 11-win team, and it is because of Rodgers. He has really only played one bad game this season. That came all the way back in week 1. Then you look at his numbers. He's one of only 6 quarterbacks in the NFL who's thrown at least 30 touchdown passes. And you know what? The other 5 guys on that list have thrown double-digit interceptions. Not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has 4 interceptions the entire season, and 2 of them came in week 1. So he has only thrown 2 interceptions since week 2, which is kind of mind-blowing. He's 11-2 as a starter, because remember, he was out during the week they lost to the Chiefs, and Jordan Love started that game. And he ranks in the top 10 in nearly every important quarterback statistical category. He's number 1 in QB rating. And he's basically just playing perfect football right now. If the Packers play this way down the stretch and Aaron Rodgers plays the way he's been playing down the stretch, and they finish the season with the number 1 overall seed, then he is going to be sitting in the old catbird seat for this MVP award.
Would this be the first MVP with a man bun in your eyes? Just out of curiosity.
You know, I haven't. There might be a guy or two in the 70s. You know those haircuts from the 70s.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say probably, but I can't say for sure.
All right, we'll see. We'll have to do some homework on that. Elsewhere, Tom Brady, he has a few of these already, all with the Patriots, but could this be his first one there in Tampa?
Yeah, you know what, Brandon? I'm going to say this. If there was an MVP award for players over 40, Tom Brady's winning it unanimously, because what he's done at age 44 is nothing short of amazing. He's leading the NFL in passing yards. He's leading the NFL in passing touchdowns. And he has not missed a beat this year. But the one thing I would say is the knock on Tom Brady is that he has had several bad games. We talked about how Aaron Rodgers has really only had one. Brady, I think, has 4 games with multiple interceptions. We saw that game against the Saints where he got shut out. I don't think any quarterback who went on to win MVP has ever been shut out in NFL history. So there are some knocks. And the other worry thing about Brady is that he's not going to have a lot of his favorite targets down the stretch. We already know Chris Godwin won't be out there. Mike Evans is dealing with an injury. Leonard Fournette is on IR. So if the Buccaneers bounce back and somehow manage to get the number 1 seed in the NFC, then I think it has to be Brady, because the only way that's going to happen is if Tom Brady just plays lights out over the final 3 weeks.
Now, we've seen him get it done with guys that, you know, relatively are not the best at their position. A lot of that had to do with the Patriots, so we'll see how that pans out for him the rest of the way here. Let's get to Jonathan Taylor, the bell cow easily in this year in the NFL. The main reason the Colts are in the playoff hunt is because of that run game, which JT is just destroying. Last running back, though, to win an MVP, you got to go back to 2012 with Adrian Peterson. Chances he could be the second since then.
Yeah, the MVP voters don't love giving this award to a running back. But look, if you want to talk about who's valuable to their team, it is absolutely Jonathan Taylor. The Colts are 8-6 this year, but they are 8-0 when Jonathan Taylor rushes for 100 or more yards, and 0-6 when he doesn't. I mean, it doesn't get more valuable than that. So if he goes off, the Colts look good. If he doesn't, they struggle. And the one thing he does for this team, he is one of those rising tides, brings up all ships. He makes everyone around him better. he makes Carson Wentz's job easier because everybody's looking to stop Jonathan Taylor. That takes some pressure off of Wentz. He makes the Colts defense better because they're always fresh. When you have Jonathan Taylor, you're putting together these long 4, 5, 6, 7-minute offensive drives. And during that time, the defense is on the sideline, catching their breath, getting fresh. And that has been one big reason why the Colts defense has been so good this year, because they just don't have to spend a lot of time out on the field. So the fact that Jonathan Taylor makes this entire team better, and he leads the NFL in rushing. He's got an outside shot at getting 2,000 yards, and he's been unstoppable for the past month also helps. So, yeah, I definitely think that Jonathan Taylor has a pretty solid case, and he can improve it over the next 3 weeks, especially on Christmas night against the Cardinals.
Again, I'm a harp on it. 9 years since a running back has won that, but we don't have to go that far when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. Just 3 years removed from winning MVP in 2018. That season, Johnny, he was kind of rolling at all cylinders. Slow start this year. The number is not the same, but is he still in the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can put him in the conversation, but he's like the last guy you talk about and only mention him in passing. It's like your crazy uncle at Christmas. Like, you kind of want to invite him, but you don't, and then you do. And that's who Mahomes is here. You know what? The problem with him right now is that the Chiefs had that lull during the middle of the season where they had 5 of 6 games where they scored 22 points or less. And so it's hard to give it to him when you see how much the Chiefs offense did struggle, because that's out of character. That's not something we've really seen from Mahomes. Now, that being said, even in his struggles, the guy has still thrown for more than 4,000 yards. He's still one of those 6 quarterbacks that has thrown 30 or more touchdowns. And I do think he could have an outside chance to win the award if the Chiefs finish as the top seed in the AFC. And right now, they're in the driver's seat. They're one game ahead of everybody. If they win out, they're going to get there. And so I do think there would be maybe some voters who feel, hey, look, Chiefs are 13-4. Patrick Mahomes got them there. So maybe I need to vote for him. So he's definitely an outsider looking in right now, but with a strong finish, maybe he gets in the conversation.
All right, so Mahomes coming in at plus 1,000 when we talk on those betting odds, but what's your best bet to win the MVP?
Well, my best bet is probably the safest one. I hate to say that. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers, 11-2 as a starter. The Packers are on their way to getting the top seed in the NFC. There maybe some voter fatigue because he won it last year, but he is just playing so well. Only 4 interceptions. All the other top quarterbacks are throwing double-digit interceptions. Mahomes, Brady have all thrown 10 or more interceptions. So it just feels like Rodgers is the favorite for a reason, unless he has some sort of giant collapse down the stretch. Or unless Jonathan Taylor hits the 2,000-yard mark, I have to think Rodgers is going to end up winning this.
Well, if he makes it back-to-back MVPs, I got to ask now, what's your best bet to win Super Bowl 56? Because we're assuming he's just going to ball out the rest of the way here.
Yeah, well, you know what, Brandon? My best bet to win the Super Bowl is the same team that I picked during the preseason, and that is the Green Bay Packers. Look, everyone jumped off their bandwagon because of all the Aaron Rodgers drama. Not me. I know that Aaron Rodgers thrives on drama, so I knew that he was going to have a huge season, and he obviously would want to go into the 2022 offseason with a little bit of leverage, which he might actually have. He did not have that last season. So I stuck with Rodgers. I stuck with the Packers, and I am going to stick with them now. They look like the best team in the NFL. They might not have the best offense or the best defense, but they feel like the best all-around team with the fewest holes. So the Packers still my pick to win the Super Bowl.
All right, coming in at plus 450 there, along with the Chiefs. That could be the matchup we might see in 56. Is that the reason why you're wearing green today? Is that Packers green? Is that what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? The Packers play tomorrow. It's Christmas. It's a combination of everything. You know, I could have worn red. That's a Christmas color, but definitely I didn't have my cheese hat, though.
All right. Well, we always like green here when it comes to the clothes and then also the picks as well. John Breech, my friend, appreciate your time. Don't forget, of course, this weekend, plenty of games to watch. Chances for teams to clinch maybe that playoff berth or that division. Speaking of the Patriots, well, Tom Brady's old home there. Now Mac Jones taking on the Bills, see if they can get that sweep there. Ravens and Bengals, AFC North has been a log jam. Somebody might come out on top there. Steelers and Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, 4:20 Eastern, then the Broncos and Raiders as well.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.